Section 1 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 1. The Comet. Swift circuit rider of the endless skies, the wanderer of the outer unknown air, amid those dim uncharted regions there, imagination droops in deep surprise. Man doth behold thee, and the fearful speed at which thou spurrest on thy flaming steed. Born of the dark and ever-deepening past, who nursed thee there in yonder viewless space? Afar from earth thy all-beholding face had gazed unspeakable with clear eye cast, worldward on each magnificent return, as if of human progress thou wouldst learn. And thou hast seen each triumph and each plan, by which the human race since human time had learned at last earth's secret all sublime, while rising from the elements to man, has seen it triumph over sea and air, and universal knowledge hope to share. Thy circuit measures well the age of man, the epoch of a life, and few there be who seeing thee thy face again may see. For human life is but a little span, with varying cycles of a different day, and in diffusion wears itself away. Child of the sun, when first the human eye beheld thee coursing in the night afar, like an illumined spectre of a star, beheld thy awful form against the sky. Strong men fell earthward with a coward cry, on their pale lips as if afraid to die. And that brute king, Nero, the cruel king, when looking on thy fiery face unknown, sate trembling on his little human throne, and thought that thou didst evil tidings bring, that thou wert writing on the distant skies a doom from which no human king could rise. Thy age is all unknown, man can but guess the time when first the sun thy circle set. He can but guess thy secret birth, and yet, observing thee his knowledge is not less. He knows each cycle, each return to be a moment in that vast eternity. Recording comet of the mortal space, what history thy eye hath looked upon, since first thy airy circling course was run? What fallen pride, what scatterings of race, Jerusalem and Nineveh and Rome, didst thou behold from thy almighty dome? Didst thou behold their birth, their rise, their fall, low humbled by the under hordes at last, with glory and fear triumphs in the past, and footprints of destruction over all, while thou, fleet comet, with a light divine, continueth upon the earth to shine. Speed on, swift comet, turn, wanderer, turn, and with thy flaming godlike pen of light, on heaven's scroll with burning letters write, live but to love, O earth, to love and learn. For while the comet's mighty cycles fail, love, love and truth forever shall prevail. End of section 1. Recorded by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 2. Washington. It is forever so when there is need of some clear clarion voice to forward lead. God riseth up a man from his own seed, not from the soft luxurious lap of earth, but from a nobler soil, so that from birth the frame is moulded with a chosen food that has one only end, to make it good. Full, generous, far-sighted, firm and keen, with strength to rise above the gross and mean, the sordid selfishness that like a curse drives from the heart the virtues it would nurse, that love of country, freedom's holy cause, justice, mercy, that eye for equal laws, faith in the future and our fellow men, faith in the sword when shielded by the pen. And so it was with us when there was need of one commanded voice to forward lead. God raised up here a man from his own seed, and so came forth the gentle Washington, fair child of faith, the nation's noblest son, whom virtue fostered and whom virtue won. Some few there be whose feet knew rougher ground, but few indeed a loftier summit found. Nurtured in tender soil, he held apart, where others faltered, heeding not too oft. Of any king or potentate or power, he was the hero heart, he saw the hour. He knew the mighty odds, yet would not cower. And when the tyrant's heel touched on our shore, and thrust itself unbidden to our door, but Washington alone with eagle eye withstood the foe and taught him how to die. Repulsed, disheartened, driven to despair, he lifted up his voice in humble prayer. For in that awful night at Valley Forge, he drank the bitter cup, he knew fate's scourge. He felt her lash, his tender-hearted George. Father of liberty, thou child of light, Columbia's firstborn, who in thy might restored to freedom her enfeebled sight. If spirits of the nobler dead can hear, this day, thy natal day, press close thine ear, and learn what we thy nation need to fear. And if the immortal dead can truly speak, show us, O child of light, where we are weak. Grant us thy counsel, for thou art with God, and bear us wisdom where thy footsteps trod. And if thou seest aught of envious strife, from virtue sapping all her sweeter life, teach us, O child of light, a purer love, for thou hast learned of God, thou art above. Thy weak and erring mortals here below, who see the light, yet forward fear to go, guide us, if spirits of the dead may guide, so that in peace we ever may abide, so that from land to sea, from shore to shore, We shall be brothers now and evermore. End of section 2. Recording by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom. Section 3 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 3. The Storm. All day long the sky was cloudless. Life was waiting for a breath, and the heat was more oppressive than the fear of sudden death. All day long the sun was shining in a hot and windless sky, and the trees were weak for water. Earth and air were dead and dry. But ere night her wings had folded, came a welcome western breeze, moving idly through the forest, prophesying to the trees, till above that dim horizon giant clouds like warring foes marshalled far in battle numbers, as the wild winds wilder rose. Hark, O hear the double rumble, as the thunder shakes the air, like 1,000 hoofs advancing in yon cloudy choral there. Look, how red the lightning flashes, how the echo roll and roll, diriges from some demon goddess, how the bells of heaven toll. Like a lance, a flash of lightning cuts the foremost cloud in twain, and the thunder's mighty echo rolls athwart the drenching rain, till the landscape fades like shadow in the driving sheets of spray, and the wind wails through the forest, and the great trees rock and sway. Soon the air is strangely solemn, and the winds no longer blow to the thunder's distant drumming in the valley far below. And along the low horizon all the clouds are growing dim, while upon the western hilltop rolls again the sun's red rim. And away across the valley in the heavens arching high, like a bed for fairy flowers, swings the rainbow in the sky, swings until the shadows gather and the sun sinks out of sight, seemingly to whisper softly to the world a fond good night. End of section 3. Recording by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom.
Section 4 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Mary. Chapter 4. Jim, the Newsboy. Jim, the newsboy, died today. So the evening papers say, and the funeral will be in the afternoon at 3. Please, the papers say, a flower bring for Jim before the hour, any color that you deem, a true token of esteem, if you would remember him, the newsboy Jim. At his corner near Broad Street, Jim, though lame, would smiling greet with a merry winning call all his patrons, great and small, and his fellow newsboys say that they miss him much today. And they have a tablet bought, and upon it this is wrought: In memory of Newsboy Jim. We all liked him. Little toilers on life's road to yon visionless abode, there was much of good in Jim, or the boys had disliked him. There was something in his heart that drew patrons to his mart, something noble, something true. Strive that it be said of you, as in eulogy of Jim, we all liked him. End of '04. Recorded by Mary.
Section number 5 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Dean McCollaum. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section number 5. March Winds Blow. Bitter March wind, blow and blow, drive away the drifting snow, toss the treetops to and fro, kiss the ice-bound lakes and streams, and arouse them from their dreams. Happy March wind, blithely blow, winter's heart is full of woe, winter's head is lying low. Bring, oh bring the melting rain back unto the earth again. Weeping March wind, blow and blow, till thy tears of sorrow flow down thy dying cheeks of snow. Weep away, for man must wait till those tearful winds abate. Merry March wind, softer blow, let the little children know where the sweetest flowers grow. Let thy tender accents ring from the joyous harp of spring. All ye wild winds, blow and blow, drive away the drifting snow, bend the bushes, bend the blow, breathe upon the trembling sod, springtime's messages from God. End of section 5.
Section 6 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Nancy Beard. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 6. The Rime of the Raftmen. The Delaware above the rift, each bank is fast or flowing, and sweeping onward dark and swift, wild and still wilder growing. It hurls a heavy raft along upon its rocking way, while the captains call the hills prolong at dawning of the day. Pull, lads, pull, to Jersey side, the rift is near. Pull, lads, pull, for the high floods hide the ragged rocks like an ocean tide, and the river's rush I hear. Safely the rift is left behind, a careful steersman steering. Swiftly we speed, only to find a dizzy eddy nearing, where rolling in the river lake and whirling round and round, a dozen rafts the circle make, and warning cries resound. Pull, lads, pull, Sylvania's shore, the eddy's near. Pull, lads, pull, till the sweeping oar bends like a bow, and you hear the roar of the river in the rear. The luring eddy lies behind, where the dizzy rafts are whirling, and we speed along with the cutting wind, the foam like suds up curling. When up ahead a sharp curve comes in sight, and we hear the captain call, as the raft swerves sudden to the right, and the ridges tower tall. Pull, lads, pull, to Jersey side, the bend I fear. Pull, lads, pull, and soon we'll ride on the rolling wave to Trenton's tide, with river calm and clear. The bend is past, but the water gap of the Delaware uprearing looms far ahead like a narrow trap, as fast our raft is nearing. And calm and deep the waters grow, and scarcely comes a sound, till the captain's calling to and fro re-echoes far around. Rest, lads, rest, a little while. Be of good cheer. Rest, lads, rest, till yonder isle we safely pass. A few more mile, and all our course is clear. Along the wave we smoothly glide until the island clearing, when down we speed as with the tide, now here, now there a veering, until a great bridge lifts its form against the evening sky, when like the rolling of a storm the crew repeats the cry, "Pull, lads, pull, Sylvania's shore, the bridge is near. Pull, lads, pull, the forward oar, and soon our dangerous task is o'er, and little need we fear." So on we speed, now fast, now slow, by isle and rift and eddy, until at length along we flow, with movement firm and steady. And low and lower lie the hills, and wider spreads the vale, and soft the captain's calling trills upon the evening gale. Rest, lads, rest, our work is done, the danger's o'er. Rest, lads, rest, another sun will see a haven safely won by Trenton's friendly shore. End of section 6. Recording by Nancy Beard, Kingston, New York.
Section 7 of The Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Francis Brown. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 7. A Child's Elegy. We know her not whom once we knew, who died, it seems, ere death was due. We know her not, she is asleep. Our hearts are dumb, we can but weep. That one so young must bid adieu, must part so soon from earthly view. Those tender feet we knew so late, we hear no more, we can but wait to hear them in the house of God, when dust to dust we tread the sod. For in that home of homes they wait for us beside the city's gate. Those little hands outheld in love, that in such innocence did move, to fondle each familiar face, are still, they cannot now embrace. As once they did, so like a dove, that weary parents would approve, those little lips that met our own, so sweetly when we were alone, no more shall meet the lips of earth, sealed up unto another birth. But when these larger lives have flown, our lips will meet, she will be known. Springtime was here, the birds would soon have reappeared, the birds would soon have warbled from the new-built nest, would soon have felt beneath their breast, though little ones and such a boon had taught them still a sweeter tune. But of the little ones not all will answer to the parent call, not all will learn to rise and fly. Many are born, but some must die. Many will rise, but some must fall, and God knows best for each and all. This is the hope we know not how, this is the hope that lures us now, that makes the parting less of pain, the hope that we shall meet again. And so while unto grief we bow, the road beyond seems brighter now. End of section 7. Recording by Frances Brown. francisbrown.me. Section 7 of The Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Frances Brown. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 8. Dreaming of the Delaware. I have been far away from the Delaware shore, from the river where I once did play, but I'm dreaming tonight by the old cottage door, where the moonlight is gleaming bright as day. Dreaming, dreaming, dreaming of that dear old stream, dreaming of the days that are no more, those days so bright and fair, dreaming in the moonlight gleaming on the shore of the dear old Delaware. And the river is still and so peaceful tonight that its murmur I scarcely can hear. And across it the moonlight is beaming so bright that the scenes of my childhood appear. And I think of my mother who bade farewell, and the sister who kissed me goodbye. They are sleeping below in that beautiful dell, but methinks that they are nigh. Long deserted has been the old river home, my old home by the dear Delaware, but never, oh never again I will roam from the scenes of my childhood so fair. I will cherish the dreams I am dreaming tonight, will upbuild the old homestead once more, and perhaps when I'm dead, for another's delight, it will bloom by the Delaware shore. Dreaming, dreaming, dreaming of that dear old stream, dreaming of the days that are no more, the days so bright and fair, dreaming in the moonlight gleaming on the shore of the dear old Delaware. End of section 8. Recording by Frances Brown. francisbrown.me. Section 9 of The Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Frances Brown. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 9. Norma. A Legend of the Wayne Highlands. Along the lake's wild northern shore, an island dark with trees, lieth shadow-like, and o'er at midnight through a leafy door comes music on the breeze, sweet music on the breeze, where sad-eyed Norma dreams, and o'er the wave and through the trees the mellow moonlight streams. And Norma's voice is sweet to hear as the breathing of a bell, but while so welcome to the ear of anyone afar or near, the notes oh few can tell, the notes oh few can tell, falling so wildly sweet, like the mournful ringing of a bell, with the tones still incomplete. How came this maid upon the isle within the hills of Wayne? Why sings she sweetly all the while, as if to ease her self-denial? Why sings she a refrain at the lonely midnight hour, on an island dark with trees, enchanting souls unto her bower by such sweet melodies? The legend runs that long ago a lover came to woo, but left her, why? No man doth know, for while her love like wine did flow, away from her he drew from her away. While she was left forlorn, and ever, so the legends say, did daily for him mourn. But Norma left her home one night, when all were fast asleep, an angel like she trod the light moon path across the waters bright, until she ceased to weep, singing a sweet, sweet song, that on the lake that lay asleep the night winds did prolong. And after Norma's death one day, a knock at her father's door announced the lad who went away when both were lovers young and gay, who now would love her more than any other maid, yes, any other maid, saying, "Oh, where is Norma now? Where's my sweetheart now? O youth, my daughter is not here, she waited, waited long, to hear the voice she held more dear than all the rest, nor could we cheer her with another song, but many hear her sing by the island, sing so sweet that never, never can they bring the song to me complete." The lover sadly turned away and vowed that he would know the song complete ere dawn of day, and followed where the moon path lay upon the lake below, where Norma sang of love on the island dark with trees that cast deep shadows on the cove, and his heart was ill at ease. At midnight o'er the moonlit wave he bent his little boat, till he heard the song of the soft winds gave, but if his life that song might save, he could not tell a note, he could not learn a note. Though many and many and many a night, in the lovely moon path gleaming bright, he listened from his boat, but the song he never, never knew, although he listened long. And so it is ever true, when hearts withhold a love-long due. For love sings one sweet song, one sweet familiar song, at thy heart's door today, and knocking waits, but waiting long forever turns away. End of section 9. Recording by Francis Brown.
Section 10 of The Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 10. Plant a Tree. The past unto the present cries, "Arise, ye more than blind, arise! For I who felled the forest low, would now another forest grow. But what is done I cannot mend, so unto you a message send. Much did I do for you, for me. Plant a tree, plant a tree." The present waking from its sleep, across the hills began to creep, and saw where past had fallen far, a noble forest with a scar on many a wounded mountain side, that from the elements would hide, and answered, "Past, I will for thee plant a tree, a forest tree." The feeling future yet unborn heard present echo in her horn, and stirring somewhat in life's cell, did try her dearest wish to tell, whispering in an undertone, I shall reap as ye have sown. O heed the past, and thanks to thee, plant a tree, plant a tree. End of section 10. Recording by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom. Section 11 of The Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 11. Maid of Shehawken. Maid of Shehawken, kind and true, I sing a fond farewell. But maiden, though I sing adieu, my love I cannot tell. My love I cannot tell to thee, for parting gives me pain. O may I in the days to be meet with thee once again. Maid of Shehawken, sweet and fair, accept my humble praise, and may thy path be free from care, full happy be thy days, and ever mid the lure of life, where'er thy lot may be, in pleasant parts of weary strife, remember I love thee. Maid of Shehawken, kind and true, though far away we roam, few places will we find, or few, as sweet as our Highland home. And though life's pathway lead along the shining streets of gold, our lips will never know a song as sweet as the songs of old. Maid of Shehawken, dearer far than any that I know, lighting my pathway like a star, afar from thee I go. But though I leave the hills of Wayne, my heart is still with thee. O maiden, may we meet again in the days that are to be. End of section 11. Recording by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom. Section 12 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 12. To the Delaware. Cease thy murmuring, Delaware, for thy many braves so fair, who are sleeping by thy stream, rouse them not, yet let them dream. For upon that silent shore, Indian's cry shall sound no more. There where still the owlets cry, and the solemn night wind sigh, let the victor's head remain with the spirits of the slain. Leave the warriors fast asleep, where the willows o'er them weep. For thy murmuring, Delaware, cannot wake those sleeping there. For thy voice, deep in the foam, cannot ever call them home. There where low and high degree sleep beneath the self-same tree, and where warriors small and great share in death a common fate. Leave the pale face and the braves side by side within their graves. There where riches lifting high try to bridge the endless sky, and where willows bend like lead o'er the footprints of the dead, to each brother slumbering there sing sweet songs, my Delaware. Requiem. Brave, thy happy days have fled into silence with the dead. Thy canoe, thy well worn away, and thy bow are in decay, and no more thy campfires gleam by thy sweet complaining stream, and I mourn thy ruthless fate. Weeping am I, but too late, for upon the silent shore Indian's cry shall sound no more. End of section 12. Recording by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom.
Section 13 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Nancy Beard. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 13. Starlight Lake. Well named thou art, O little lake, set in among the hills. Well named art thou, each star doth make reflected forms that fancies wake, and memory fondly fills. And nightly on the rugged shore, each cot with ruddy beam lights up thy face from pane and door, and throws a stream of silver o'er thy bosom like a dream. Thy hemlock hills, now dimly grown, fling shadows on thy face, and to their branch the birds have flown, except the owl, whose monotone the listening ear can trace. There, where the starlight thickly trails a path across thy wave, a passing boat a boatman hails, whose maiden crew still softly sails, as with a pilot brave. While from thy shore a lithe canoe shoots o'er thy bosom fair, leaving behind a milk-white view, as when the beaver paddled through thy waters unaware. Up rides the moon with rosy rim, all silently and still, chasing away the shadows dim that on thy surface seem to swim like wood-nymphs from the hill. Now midnight comes, and on thy shore no boatman plies his way. The cottage lights shine forth no more from window pane or open door, where yet thy shadows play. Silent and strangely still is all, the stars like candles are, no echoes on the forest fall. Each lonely owl hath ceased to call his woodmate from afar. Silent and calmly still is all, dim night is monarch now. His kingdom is the midnight air, the forests his attendants fair, who at his bidding bow, and stand like sentinels asleep beneath the moon's wan beam, until Aurora fair doth creep above the hill where she doth keep bright morn with welcome gleam. End of section 13. Recording by Nancy Beard, Kingston, New York.
Section 14 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Halle. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 14. An Inquiry. Speak, oh speak, my angel fair, is there sadness everywhere? Folly where the flower feedeth, rapids where the river leadeth to delight? Is there anything an eternal joy can bring? What is real and what but seemeth like a dream a dreamer dreameth through the night? Can there be, angel of love? Can there be bright homes above? What is life and when it endeth? What is death? Why it descendeth? I implore. Tell me, angel, can it be that thy hand is leading me? Tell me, are these seraphs singing up in heaven, gladness bringing evermore? End of section 14. Recording by Halle.
Section 15 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 15. Twin Lake. Twin Lake in the Wayne Highlands. The shadows fall on Twin Lake fair, as crimson sets the autumn sun. A holy hush is on the air of eventide, and day is done. No zephyrs kiss the little lake, so still and calm is either shore, that on her face dim shadows wake, and deepen evermore and more. And where the long-leaf laurels grow, a cuckoo sounds the hour of rest, and fondly answering far below, its mate is calling from her nest. Now comes the twilight calm and still, and with a cloak of sable hue, half hides the lake and upland hill, that faint and fainter fades from view. And through the broken web of night, each stalwart star with even ray reflects upon the lake a light, to guide a boatman on his way. And soon the massive moon doth ride athwart the pine tree's heavy shade, that doth her fiery chariot hide, as an apparent halt is made. And sweetly from a maiden fair, in yon canoe that skirts the shore, a laugh rings out upon the air, and echoes softly o'er and o'er, till dying on the distant hill, an evening silence settles far, a quietness so calm, so still, with rising moon and silent star, that peace, sweet peace, subdues the soul, while on the clear and pensive air the bells of Comet softly tolled, that ever sacred hour of prayer. End of section 15. Recorded by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom.
Section 16 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Mary. Section 16 of the Comet of Other Verses. The Man Who Swears. It is often, yes, often, that the man who swears is a man who dares and a man who cares. For the gentle voice and the eye of blue will sometimes tell of a heart less true than the rough, cold voice and manner stern, and you someday this truth will learn, that often, yes, often, that the man who swears is a man who dares and a man who cares. When you are sick with fever and pain, who comes to ease your weary brain? Is it the friend with eyes of blue and gentle voice that comes to you? Or is it the one with manner cold and voice so stern and ways so bold that presses a hand on your fevered brow and soothes your troubled spirits now? When you are down and your friends are few, who is it comes to comfort you? Is it the one with eyes so mild and a voice as sweet as a little child? Is it the one with gentle way that comes to you and dares to say, "So sorry, friend, say, here's my hand. I'll do your bidding, now just command"? When in misfortune you need a friend who will fight for you to the bitter end, is it always the one who speaks quite low and fears to say what he knows is so? Or is it the man who speaks his mind, and shows some mettle, and hardly kind, whose heart is cold until your woe melts an entrance as the sun melts snow? I would not say that swearing is right, but I say some men are willing to fight. It is wrong indeed for a man to swear, and I envy no one's weakness there. Still, I believe, with me, you would say while one will swear, and another pray, you would follow the man who is willing to dare, though one might pray and the other swear. Recording by Mary.
Section number 17 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Dean McCollaum. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 17. The Glen. Here nature's nice adjusted tool hath cut a chasm, and each pool reflects a narrow rocky room where sun-born flowers seldom bloom, but where the ledging level shelves betray the dance hall of the elves. And overhead the tasseled trees frown from the wall, and with each breeze awake the solemn avenue, but hide from sight the upward view, when with 100 harps they sing to Boreas their mighty king. Here Echo dwells in lonely mood, and answers to the dying wood, unsuited to a varying rhyme. She hath no voice for tuneful time, content to speak as she hath heard the lyric wind, the singing bird. Here these same falls awoke the glen long, long before the march of men, long, long before yon broken soil brought forth the fruit of human toil. And here these falls will dance and play when feeling man has passed away. Sing, little falls, and echo, glen, till silent are the songs of men, and they that dwell upon the earth have disappeared, as at thy birth. And senseless rock, if think ye can, think ye, how short the life of man. End of section 17.
Section 18 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 18. Hope. Kind guardian of the lonely shore, and sorrow's true and only friend, comforting angel of the poor, what heavenly spirit did descend, with passive voice, with ways unknown, within thy very self complete? O hope, when left at last alone, we fall a suppliant at thy feet, and worship dear with heart forlorn, from childhood's land of make-believe, through early youth, the brightening morn, till tottering age, the fading eve. And who would walk without thee, friend, who walked dim paths without thy hand? From out the world shouldst thou ascend, blind poverty would stalk the land, despair would seize the simple knave, and hatred every evil one. O hope, for more would seek the grave, without thy timely vision shown. The sick upon the lowly bed, the blind a begging as of yore, the weeping child who works unfed, the prisoner by the fatal door, all led along, still cling below, to feel thy subtle charms so free, as wearily, drearily on they go, following, following after thee. And when upon life's field they fall, when disappointment reigned supreme, thy voice omnipotent would call, e'en from the dust their fondest dream, would call and wake the slumbering thought, and point it to some great ideal, while adding all but taking naught from out the present living real. Then, hope, thou sentinel of light, by disappointment's lonely shore, speak out amid the depth of night, and guide us safely evermore. End of section 18. Recorded by Camille Hill, United Kingdom. Section 19 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Camille Hill. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 19. Lines to Liars. Let lawyers harp about the law and all its majesty and might. They find in every case a flaw and think they're right. Let politicians praise the truth and laud its virtue to the sky. They practice from their very youth to give the lie. Let prophets send the saints to heaven and damn poor sinners into hell. How such authority is given, they cannot tell. Let doctors prate of human pain, alleviated by their skill. When death's dull sickness comes, in vain is every pill. Let poets pipe of bloody war, and claim its carnal method right. They're only piping cowards, for no one will fight. And so it seems we mortals boast of knowledge where we know the least, and show our ignorance the most, like any beast. End of section 19. Recording by Camille Hill, Basingstoke, United Kingdom.
Section 20 of the Comet and Other Verses. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Halle. The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix. Section 20. Fooling. He was a lad, a tender boy, and she held him as her toy. And when she wearied of his way, and would with other playthings play, I heard him say behind his breath, "A fool am I, it is my death." She jilted me, the little lass, I will not let such fooling pass, but shipped at once some bitter dart, back again into her heart. But then thought he, all those who play with fools are fools as well as they. And so he made a living rule, it takes a fool to fool a fool. End of section 20. Recording by Halle. End of The Comet and Other Verses by Irving Sydney Dix.